So this campaign called the Apprentice takes place kind of create all about the all I'm gonna basically the Cole's notes of the time ago. There was XR. He was a game of or necromancer. Back talking about early stage 1,000 years, starting to kind of come across magic and mad. XR was the second person kind of be kind of where we're gonna take place. 900 after the death of body was now it's 1,000 years ago today. XR. We're gonna start with it. We're gonna go kind of around the table. Characters. Some people have really long backstories. Some people have shorter ones. So if you have a really long one, try to condense it a bit. Put an order. Oh yeah, I put them in alphabetical order. Start with
Darian.
Arian.
Okay, Darian it's rock gnome. Darian Summerling. He is a wizard rock gnome. A little bit of a shut-in. Throughout all of his life, he worked at his parents' library, and at a young gnome age of 25, his parents gave him rightful ownership of said library. Ever since, his essential goal is just try and keep the library well stocked, find new books, and all of that lovely stuff that a librarian would do. At a few years ago, Darian started realizing as he was reading some of the more arcane books that he had an affinity for the arcane arts, so he started practicing reading more of those, and not too long ago, one of the books actually seemed to come alive as Darian was reading it, as he is a Order of the Scribes wizard. He actually has a awakened tome that he uses for all of his spellcasting. He has a little bit of a connection with it. Kind of talks back and forth. And yeah, that's pretty much Darian. Traditional wizard, smart, shut in, a little bit not always good with social cues, but you know, yeah.
Don't wear lots of armor.
He's a wizard. He is very much a wizard. 10 armor class. Let's go.
We have Arn.
All right. I'll give the cliff notes because mine's one of the longer ones, I think.
Yours is like a novel. It's great, but
yeah, it's worth a read if you guys want to go read it. But cliff notes.
exclamation point Karn if you do want to read it. And it's a title you want.
Yeah. So Karn's a warforged from quite a way away from here. And he was created for the purpose of war and destruction. In his early days, he got the nickname Carnage because that's all he left behind him. And then essentially one day, for a period of time, they were held up in a village, and they were just meant to monitor the villagers until they had used up all the resources and they could move on. And in that time, a young child basically converted Karn through relentless just talking his ear off to kind of see the other side of things and see that what they were doing was wrong. This child was killed, and that essentially broke Karn and made him turn against his creators. And now his ultimate goal in life is to eventually gain enough reputation and a sizable army to go back, destroy his creators, and on their land erect a free city. That's it.
Yes,
Yeah, nailed it.
you did. You actually did do it right. Oh, Maven is a high elf cladded in silver armor. You cannot see them for the most part because it's covering them head to toe. For the most part, Maven has been. We grew up in a noble house within. I don't remember the place called. Within Court Fortia? I don't know what the place is called. And one of the high cities growing up as a noble. When they were young, they had been raised basically by the servants of an elder dwarf. Later on, they figured out that they were able to use their magic and tinker with, use it and infuse it into basically tinkering magic. And along with that dwarf, eventually the dwarf had died. They went They had gone and were despaired by the idea that the older dwarf had died. The parents didn't care because they just thought it as another pet had died. Upset, they took off, left the hometown, went to the hometown of the old dwarf that took care of them, and eventually decided to basically become an Iron Man to the town, and now proceeds to use the knowledge that they've learned from years of tinkering with magic to basically be a superhero for people that are less fortunate.
Russell.
All right. So, Russell's a Kenku rogue. His full name is actually like he mimics the sound of dry leaves rustling in the wind, but his cohorts all just call him Russell because it's easier for folk like us to say. Um, so he's a Kenku outlaw from the city of Shroudsdale or Shroudvale in the Grunlian Empire. So pretty cliche kind of rogue upbringing. He was orphaned at birth. He grew up on the streets of this kind of seedy, corrupt city. Um, he kind of like got by scavenging and as Kenku do, kind of mimicking and emulating the things that he saw. So we learned how to pickpocket from a young age, and kind of like worked his way up the criminal ladder. He learned to steal, to like forge documents, bill of sale for like larger and larger heists. And eventually, he was picked up by a criminal syndicate and learned, or basically taught, like you know, um, how to be like a real criminal, like planning heists, assassinations, things of that manner. Um, so then, one day, a couple of decades into his criminal career, he was hired by one, minor noble to assassinate another. Um, and he carried out the hit, but then because he's a Kenku and he has, the ability to perfectly mimic any conversation that he's had, um, the outlaw or the noble sought to kind of get rid of him. Um, kind of bury the evidence. So we reported him to the guards, and he was kind of like run out of the city. So now he's kind of on the lam. He's trying to get like as far away as he can from the Grunlian Empire and the city of Shroudvale. Kind of keeping in contact or keeping in touch with his old guild through various contacts across the land, and yeah, that's basically Russell.
Yes, we have.
Zal Dawnbringer was kind of just the son of farmers. One night they got murdered by, some zombies and a necromancer. A necromancer with Staff of the White Skull for a headpiece. That its black eyes seem to absorb the light. And then his parents were raised as ghouls, and they kind of took off. The next morning, the Order of the Sacred Flame showed up and took him in, and he was reborn as Zal Dawnbringer, and that was 20 years ago. The order is very zealoty, and they worship. Is it pronounced Ilmater? Ilmater. And they're charged with purifying the land of the undead.
That our lovely cast that's gonna take as long as it. I
Forever.
was gonna say it could take a week.
Like in
take-
one session.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna play until somebody faints. Person's actually. We're doing that.
Die in the campaign.
So there's-
Die,
Die for real.
Hope you
Good.
all catheters.
I got a bottle.
Yeah, I got like 6 Mountain Dew bottles laying around here somewhere.
I'll finish some eventually.
So
You're just making your problem worse, though.
That's true.
before we start, it is a very special day in the town of Oak. We're gonna get to why all of you are. The Festival of Illumination. Festival celebrate both the death of Zexar and the three resurrected Agda helped. Day of the festival honors a townsfolks are paying their respects to the. That's the festival. Same order. Darian, as he said before, heard that there was powerful necromancy. Looking around,
That'd be pretty normal, yeah.
so
Yeah.
as you're walking Market's just falls around the hole. Market's right outside. This is kind of, well, not really. There are some shady market, which is looking around. There's walking around. Trying to find someone who have a book because I heard that not really kind of the guy who like he half high elf, half drow. Killer.
Book? Do you have any books? One specifically about necromantic arts?
Oh, deep pockets.
My pockets are potentially deep enough. What are you thinking for it? You first, my good sir.
Pulls out this black title. I do not. Called, but
Can I see if I tell him the truth? Okay. Yeah. Good
So-
roll. Good first roll. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, if it's a rare book, I must have it. What's the price?
Kind of like when
Huh.
kind of like flipping through it really quickly, so you can't really see anything. But,
Of course.
stops on one page is say it's a pretty thick book. Down the flip instead of the I see liches.
Must be pretty rare if it has something about liches in it.
Oh yes, that's only where it started. It's got much more than
I bet. Can I've asked a couple times, what's the price? That's all I ask. You already have me pretty much sold.
under 2,000. I think that's a hundred gold.
Rufus, how much starting gold did we have? I don't think I ever asked that. Oh, okay. What would be the favorite? Because I mean, it seems like a good deal to me.
Call it in. It is.
How will
he
you
kinda-
contact
Kind of
me?
laughs. He's like, the merchant chain. We can.
Well, I don't see anything wrong here. Sure, it is a book. It's more knowledge. I will gladly take it. It seems like a very interesting piece of. Yes, please cancel the 200 gold.
Okay. Hands you the book.
I have one book.
In touch. Enjoy the festival.
I don't usually enjoy festivals. I'll probably just be reading. But thank you. You might want to turn down the creepiness next time for the next customer, sir. You had me at book. You didn't have to do all the play. And I just walk away.
So next up, have Arn. So Arn was around these, kind of floating around the fire, trying to get spotted by the people in charge of doing the security. Immediately noticed. They notice that he is. They're just like, They approached him and they were like, "Hey, have the really festival. Like to keep tight as we offer you 200 good payment at festival. Great, you don't perfect night watch. We have everything. I don't know how happy or reluctant about this. Just kind of like,
Well, I of course had to ask them for details on who or what I'd be protecting. and they reassured me that it was just general security for the event. So I was quite content with that. I saw it as a way to help build my reputation, and of course, a little bit of money goes a long way when trying to build an army. So I was okay with the payment arrangement as well.
Camera layout busted.
Yep.
We've all changed characters.
Yeah, we lost.
Makarn's the same though.
Yeah, and so are you.
I am apparently just an
No, I'm
arm
Oh
not.
no,
now.
you're not.
I'm
No,
down here now.
Never mind. You're...
I made
Oh
it.
no.
Oh no. Zale.
I'll have to 3D print a camera.
Yes.
But so
Have a camera flip up.
Haha.
that's
Ooh. Fancy.
so the heads of the festival around town start off by showing you marketplace. May or may not take at the time that you're Arian is there. Action with nothing.
Right.
Wow. That hurts.
I mean,
No, it makes sense.
enter, show you where the temple is, and they tell you that you don't really expect anything. Somewhere in town, there's like, look at what. Something brought from. This is a war for. Destructible. There will be nothing. And he like kind of like bang back, and it's just look, the pure steel from side to side.
I let it go as I'm used to people banging on my armor.
Yeah. Not-
People get too friendly.
Yeah. Look, like.
Could fit so many war crimes in this thing.
I am yeah. Most of my time guarding villages, I was under order to not talk to or interact with anyone, so I'm quite good at holding back any reaction.
They're kind of like. Walks up to you. Like, they're telling him that you're like. Oh.
Okay. I respond hello, and I give a quick soldier-like bow where I just essentially bow my head.
So is your voice like a voice, or is it like?
It's pretty human.
Okay.
They needed me to be personable.
Okay. Trust they've shown you a place.
Yeah, I got the general tour. While I'm like making small talk with him, I'd like to see, can my character discern at all if this guy looks shady, shifty, or if he just looks like a generally good dude?
So, if you want to make a perception check, you can, but on the surface, he definitely looks happy-go-lucky, perf. Doesn't look like he have any chance to think happy.
Okay, so he just generally looks normal.
Yeah, he doesn't look. He looks a bit richer than most of the people in town. Doesn't
Okay.
doesn't even.
Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with that. It's just my guy likes to do a general check of people in power for history reasons.
It's over. Like perfect. You're gonna be great. Very happy to have you down. This is our biggest celebration. Hope nothing goes wrong. Last head up secure. No, Star's body was stolen like years ago. Kind of thought that if we're going to be holding a celebration honoring his death, that it might be good to ensure that the people here are protected. And to date, there's been nothing go wrong. Hiring caution.
My guy nods as if he understands. However, he knows nothing of Zexar, as he's essentially only arrived in the country like not long ago. So he nods in agreement and says, "Any threats will be eliminated. You have my word."
And let's say with a laugh, and he said, "I like this guy. Show him to his accommodations." That's why this is such a great.
Yep.
Or anything?
No, that won't be necessary. I merely just go into power preservation mode at night.
I don't need to understand. But if you change your mind, on me. If it shows you like push up, it's just like how'd it go? go secure.
Okay. I'd like to note that when he tries to push me, he makes no ground,
Yeah, he's
as
just
I
like
am nearly 300 pounds, and I walk out of my own accord. On this tour, did I like? I'm assuming they took me through like the central area of the festival.
yeah, it's the town square where the
Okay. I'd like to walk into the town square
okay.
and up onto the stage, assuming there's no one on there.
There's no
Onto
one
the
on there right
stage,
now.
as I think it's a good vantage point, and that's where I make my sentry.
Okay.
I just stand
And
there
it's kind of worth noting that
and
the
observe.
first day of the festival hasn't officially started yet. Coming in and ready for the beginning of today. Hasn't like
Okay.
there hasn't been like the festival
Okay, I'd like to just be right in the center, in the best view I can get.
Okay. Next. So, Maven come to the festival.
No, I didn't. The name of the older dwarf was Judith.
Maven used to come here with you every festival. All 3 days. Money. Hotel, but definitely stay all 3. Highlight every. Haven has come to this because emotions. As you approach the, looks like it has every. In fact, you see that you've seen highs and lows. Ask.
And that's all I do is I just kind of give a deep breath and just leave it at that. Hoping that they kind of get that nothing good has happened.
You know her. She's probably busy with work. It's a shame, though. Festival.
Yes, it's a damn shame. She got caught up with things that father wanted done, and this kind of just walks away.
As you kind of notice that same spot, you giant war tool sitting there,
That
which is
cat-
odd to you. Never seen that before.
That catches my eye a little bit because
Yeah, it
I
definitely
mean-
been here many times.
can I walk up to it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to it and just kind of go, like I'm still cladded in all my armor too. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be cladded in that, and I kind of walk up to it and I gotta go in front of its face. Hello?
Hello, citizen. What do you require?
You kind of are you an automaton?
I am an artificial being, yes.
Interesting. So I just kind of and I kind of just kind of go all around his body and just kind of look at different pieces on him, just not just observing everything.
Sir, may I ask what you're doing? You're acting highly suspicious.
No, just kind of, I mean, just never seen one before. I've heard, but haven't seen. Anyway,
That's fair. I haven't seen a make of your kind either.
and I kind of I'm actually a person. I'm actually a person.
Did you take off your helmet or something?
No, you actually don't. I don't even take off my helmet. I just kind of go, um, um, and all you see is that small little flap of the mouth open up and go, see, and I go, "Ooh, lip."
Ah, I see. An android.
Sure, we'll go with that one. And
No,
go.
I am merely joking. I am programmed with humor. But if you could carry on, I am a little bit busy here, trying to protect the town.
All right. Well, well, yeah, that one got me, the program humor. Anyway,
Got
I
him.
mean, anyway, I just, you know, maybe sometime in the future I can come. If we happen to cross paths, I can ask a little bit more. I see you are busy. And
I shall be here all 3 days.
okay,
Feel free if you need anything. I will try to
oops,
provide what services I can. I am hired to do so.
it's good. I will. They just kind of walk away, and they just kind of walk away.
And then for the next little bit, you just kind of go parts that you're trying to read. At this,
And as I go through, as I'm going through all the shops, like I mean, like the only thing I buy, I only end up buying like I don't really end up buying anything, but I end up like sitting there fiddling with it and with my fingers and just kind of going and sighing about it.
normally I would have bought something.
Not this time. And then I
Hey.
just kind of like grab my shield, put it on my back, and continue. I'm more concerned about that automaton.
So Russell actually puts his the day before. Gonna kind of just so Russell worth a vote.
Yeah. So, kind of, yeah. You can keep going. Sorry.
Luck, call it bad luck. Ends up meeting bandits that call themselves Black Wolf. Black Wolf are just a bunch of bit petty frontals that nobody knows who they are. They want to do something, don't know what they want to do. A lot of infighting when you hide out. The leader of the Black Wolf, Bradverth Cragley, kind of bangs on the table and he's like, "Shut up! Have a guest." Like, listen here, Birdie. I have a plan. Numbskulls, they don't know much about nothing. I know that in order to make a name for yourself, you got to do something big.
Whenever he says like they don't know nothing about nothing, Russell kind of like mimics a sound of like the wind blowing through empty space.
Exactly. I know we got to do something big. Here's the problem. Go there. Prime, they're going to exactly what was up. They're going to be, hey, I saw these guys like, I need you to do. Heard rumors that there's very big gem in the Temple of Ladder, your giant statue, paladin in armor. Gem. This. There. Big is it? Valuable? How well is it guarded? Get us that information.
Russell's kind of like counting these out on his talons as he tells them, and then once he finishes, he kind of like mimics something he's seen his own guild members do. He kind of like taps the side of his beak and nods.
Not necessarily in a hurry to get, but worth the pay. Back within.
Russell kind of like
before the
leans
festival.
back and kind of like holds out his hand, mimics the sound of like a few coins dropping into a pile, and then a few more.
There's 100. Back.
Russell nods. He's okay with this.
That could be. Get there tomorrow is going to be the first day of the festival. Back here. Time for. Counting on.
So he said, sorry, he said how long?
So the festival's 3 days. You have a week.
Okay.
Time you come back after that.
Yep.
Fast forward next day. You've
And he got 100 up front?
got 100 up front.
Okay.
A fat flash forward to the day that everyone else is there.
Yeah. So kind of like going back to, the previous two introductions, and speaking of shady and suspicious, there is somebody here at this festival who is being neither of those things. Yeah, so he'd be kind of doing the like the Assassin's Creed thing. He's got his cloak of elven kind, his hood pulled up, so he's kind of like beneath notice, and he's kind of blending with the crowd, kind of emulating what other people around him are doing at any given moment, trying to case the place and find this gem.
Temple very easily. Outside, it's very temple-like. Sign that's
Okay, does it look heavily guarded, or
from the outside, no, it's like a temple. The doors are actually
are there people going in and out?
at the moment, nobody going in and out. Everyone's kind of more focused on central town. Kind of doing.
All right. In that case, Russell is going to make use of some of the things he's learned. He's going to go back to like the festival grounds. He's going to see if he can find some like a shabby old cloak from a stall, the kind of thing a pilgrim would wear.
Okay. So as you're walking, find. Okay, kind of looks like it's made of birch. Definitely looks something peasanty.
Okay, he's gonna pick up something like that, and he's gonna pick up like a ceramic bowl that like a beggar would have.
Charge you like
Okay. And yeah, he's going to, make a disguise out of this basically, and he's gonna head into the temple. Kind of hunched over, down.
walk up to. Nobody.
Okay, he's gonna like walk in, find like a like a likely place inside the temple. He's gonna kind of like kneel down and kind of pretend he's praying, while kind of side-eyeing everything, kind of looking around.
So as you walk in, you notice that in front of the big statue, what appears very big. They hands loose, kind of similar to the way that diamond is.
Okay, he's
Walks
gonna-
over. What are your troubles?
Russell kind of like holds up his like begging bowl and then turns it upside down.
This actually.
Russell kind of like, like puts his hands together and like bows his thanks.
No, it's not much. Fortunate. Five if
Russell kind of like nods his thanks again. And this kind of goes back to his like faux praying.
fucks off. As you're kind of like notice that Paladin Paladins kind of stand like once you get in spotted for
Right. Okay, so yeah, he makes a mental note of that. He kind of looks around, seeing if there's like any other, obvious ways in or out of the temple.
you notice at the back, so at the front there's that big statue. A lot of windows, some of which look like they might have locks. Some have locks. The door, it iron. Walked in, kind of hard to break. Exactly how easy.
So here is kind of a thing. So Russell would have learned to pick locks by watching, but it also means that he kind of has to like understand that this is a kind of lock he's encountered before. That said, would he have any insight as to how hard these locks would be to pick? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
On the window, it's not so
They
much.
look like tough locks.
These don't look like you need to pick. It just kind of looks like you need to
Oh,
like.
they're just like catches?
Yeah, they're like standard window locks. Like you might be able to. Some of them don't look like they have them at all. Some of them definitely have them. And jostle them. Definitely on like.
Okay. All right, so I guess after, making note of how many people are in the temple, where the location of the guards, any additional entry points, Russell will kind of stay there for a little longer, just, kind of sell the illusion, and then he'll kind of get up, make his way back outside, and kind of, instead of like just immediately like leaving, he'll find a corner to kind of sit at with his bowl for a little while. Yep, and that's...
Over the course of time that you're get like throwing money.
Yeah. While he's doing this, he's also kind of like looking around for like, guards, that kind of thing. This is still in the Grenlian Empire? Okay, I guess he's also kind of keeping his head down because, there are definitely a few guards that have been paid off to find and, apprehend him without really listening to anything he had to say, so... Yeah, he's kind of keeping an eye out for guards, any additional security measures.
Definitely see the giant sentry in the middle of the... You don't know if it knows about you. Definitely see the giant sentry.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, that's basically what he'd do. He'd spend like, I guess the early afternoon still selling this guys, and then he'd wander out of the festival grounds to kind of compile a note in Thieves' Cant, basically like a report to deliver later.
While you're doing that, oh, 5 years around this area, so in Venzor, slightly west of, found a very special maze, but it's missing a piece. Shield that goes. Searching for that shield. Heard that there is a might know something about interesting coming to Odin to talk about. As you walk through the market, as say a man of the cloth base, notice that there's a lot of like bigger than you were expecting. Some of the other guys might have been more okay with it, but definitely notice there's a lot of shade. Walk into the as you approach the temple, some kind of eggerish
All right, so I'm walking through the market, and I kind of note that he's being a bit shady on the way out. But I also note this big metal construct
yeah, you would
on the
that
other
as
side of the
well.
market.
Well, that's in the town, but you put that on your center of town.
Yeah, so I kind of just note that and stride into the temple and talk to one of the priests,
Walk
and
into
ask about the shield.
you are a cleric of Ilm. Notices that gives you a bow and says the typical Ilm. Bless you. Thank you for coming to our town. What can we
I seek information on, what did we call the shield?
I
Can't
called
remember.
it I called it Witherbrand. If you like.
I don't know that I changed it. We'll go with Witherbrand.
Witherbrand. Yes, I've heard of this very, very sought after item. Fortunately, flame.
I raised the hammer in front of his face,
Raise the
and
hammer.
I used its ability to like
the light of
light up the entire inside of the temple.
godly experience. Wow, like Flame, I never thought I would see anything like this. Well, I don't know a lot about it, but one thing I have heard. Found in archaeological exhibition. South of here. Right now we're in the grid. Says I heard that there was put it in a they did hammer. Who knows what could have happened if wrong person had both of those.
Indeed.
Staying for the festival?
I don't partake in festivals. I'm only here for the night and for the information.
Oh, well. Feel free to stay here.
Thank you.
He also offers, going to look for the, I can send word coming to at least examine it, if, or I cannot.
No, I think it best you don't.
Bows to you. Anything I can do. Very honored to have a cleric of it.
Thank you again.
The paladins look like fucker. Like you have better. They're thinking. Paladins. Guy's a cleric. Like, come on, we're holy knights. They don't say anything. You can tell they're slightly offended.
It doesn't matter.
So, is there anything else you want to do?
I'd probably just grab some food and sit down for a rest.
Okay. So, now that you guys have all kind of done your stuff, I'll say like within half an hour of the last. Somebody walks up to this.
Okay. Where would you like me to move? Preferably somewhere with a good vantage point.
What they say. Might be gonna be a crowd. Best if you find the crowd and kind of watch the entry point and kind of watch all.
I understand, and I move that way.
Perception check. That's
Okay.
perceptive. Are you?
This could be interesting.
Not very.
Okay, I'll default to
Nice
your
first two
passive.
rolls.
I will default to your passive. You would at least have your
Okay.
passive.
Okay.
It's at this point everyone loud trumpet. Everyone starts to come down where the stage is. You're in Hillbeard. Some of you know as the mayor. Top of the stage. Welcome everyone to Odin. That time of year again, we're here to celebrate and also to pay. Gave his life for, fought valiantly, strongest of foes. Exar starts to spit on the ground and yell, "Boo!" They're very emotional. After a few seconds, it kind of.
Sorry, I didn't realize I had my headset muted. Is Russell still on the festival grounds?
Yep.
Okay, I was just gonna say when he sees and hears everybody spit in the ground and boo, he does the exact same thing.
Okay. Which he would be. And then
It's uncanny.
as it starts it starts to become a bit more quiet. For the festivities let's start thinking. Most people, you guys can decide what you.
I am being ever vigilant.
Russell is mimicking the silence.
Russell,
On a bench somewhere, writing in a book.
Russell
not paying attention to
and
anything that's happening.
Maven only notice hooded figures up close to the stage, kind of skulking. Kind of a weapon.
Wait, me and Russell?
Damn my perception.
Why I put you at the back so we have a back and this all happening. Because I figured you could potentially roll low on this perception.
Yeah.
Your passive wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So you guys can choose something not to do.
Who?
And Russ. Something. Happen.
Ah. How far away are they from us?
Guys, probably about. I wouldn't. Guys are front close.
I don't think Russell would do anything because it would blow his cover. I guess where would he be, like, set up for begging?
So I
Would be
kind of
near the stage.
pull it.
I know what I'm gonna do.
So I kind of Russell to be kind of long, kind of like where that yellowish card is near the top, like just kind of like off to the side, not by the stage. Brian, him just kind of out by a spot where he can potentially peg.
Okay.
Kind of fig. Everybody else is kind of Warforged is furthest. Temple would be. Arian is probably somewhere. Yeah, probably down. Even I didn't really have a good read. Kind of wants to enjoy the festival. Also, I don't know how close she'd want to be to the center of attention.
I mean, I'd be probably more off to the outer skirts towards the middle, I guess.
Hooded figure. There's doesn't show it well, but there's actually stairs on both sides of the stage. Approaching.
So, can Russell still see Karn?
Yes, but you're by that tape. The furthest right on.
Okay. And he pretty clearly doesn't look like, you know, like a city guard or anything like that, right?
Looks really shady.
Karn?
Oh no, not Karn. Karn looks like a cent.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Russell probably wouldn't want a big scene. He might try to alert Karn that there's something going on here. He might pick up one of his good berries, kind of like flick it at the automaton to try to get his attention.
Okay.
Do you want to know what I'm doing? So I'm running as close as I can to the stage, and I'm gonna try to cast minor illusion to create a loud scream of "Look out!" Loud enough that it might be heard by Karn.
He'll definitely.
That's good.
Karn is trying to see
Yeah,
this.
I'm I'm trying my best, guys.
He's not goofing off. So if you're gonna yell something with minor illusion, definitely.
So I guess
He's
that's,
gonna.
I was just saying, like, yeah. So that's going on, and also, like, after flicking the good berry, Russell would also be like, kind of like nodding emphatically towards the stage to kind of.
I'm also
So-
continuously running up this, trying to run to the stage, like
So
halfway
I-
through that, doing it.
I'm assuming I get a pretty good idea that there's something going on now. With them indicating to me, am I able to spot them?
Does this count as a help action?
You are able. Look out. The hooded figure whispers something. Durin starts to
Right.
walk. You guys are all alerted to the combat. What? So even Darian, everyone would hear the "look out" coming from center of
How far would the hooded figure be from me?
I'm about to drop them on.
Okay. Hopefully I don't have to re-add that when you put me back on.
I don't think
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. We just haven't tested.
Can move these guys.
there we go.
Uh, if they're on the map, you'll have to reveal them to us as well.
The D is Durin.
Okay.
Kind of walks over. Get all your stuff.
I think it's all gone. Okay, one sec. I'll have to apply it. Well, I have them as effects, so I'll just have to actually click them all
Okay,
on.
that's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm good. Oh, also, the stream can't see the map or anything.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
He's dead. Not even the first combat, and he already died.
Yeah.
Wizard life.
Wow.
Okay. So
Always the first to die.
as Dari walks over, one of them pulls out a knife, and the other hooded figure says, "Well, you guys are all kind of rushing and getting into the festivities begin. The public execution." Aaron Hillbeard on the charges of rightful owner of the world. I sentence death. Let he who does not submit to Zexar perish before he rises again.
Okay.
Push him to the ground. Right before combat starts, the guy says loudly, "Don't worry, this."
Okay. Now, because we were alerted to this going on, am I able to do a thing before combat, or are we just rolling?
I think we're just gonna roll because they
Yeah.
were expecting combat. They knew
Okay.
they were coming in to make a
Sounds good.
show and knew that all we need is an Karns.
Okay.
Try to move around this map again, because I can't see anything right now.
Middle click and drag.
Oh god, I don't have middle click. I can go get a mouse. I might just do that. I'm gonna go do that. 1 second.
I can left click.
Wow. Just wow. See how it is.
So, like, are there any, like, crowds here that would be in, like, the way or anything?
There are, but they're all kind of gonna have any trouble.
Okay. I'm just wondering as far as if I wanted to throw something at the stage.
Definitely through. So even get
Okay. So well, I'm hoping to God I can run up there. Of course not. So is there people around us? Like, have they all scattered?
they're scattering. The process is scattering. Don't have. It's not difficult to move.
Okay. So I am going to. I can't really get that far. So I'm going to run up as far as I can. I should be only about 20 feet away from that one. Or from, no, the other one. was here.
It's a the measurement.
Yeah.
The measurement should still.
So I should be about here. I'm trying to make my way over to the one that's there, and I am going to cast magic missile on all the magic missile that I have on that one there that's near him.
Have a first level.
Yes. What the hell? I'm like, there we go. I'm like screwing this up really bad. Yeah. All aimed at that guy.
3d4 plus 1 on each.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the target scrap.
3, 2, 3, 2.
So how many
1.
are sending?
All of them at him.
All of them
At
at
the one.
Okay, you have two
at the
guys
one-
targeted. Right?
Oh. Shit. Sorry. I meant to. Yep. Bam. That is a lot. That's supposed to be apparently. Apparently, I didn't.
There should be 2 more.
Yeah, so
There
it's
should be
9.
2 more damage. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went and tried to drag it in as. Because it's. Yeah. So as I run, I just kind of, as I'm running towards him, I'm running and I'm casting magic missiles. So all of a sudden, you see, basically, from my fingertips, I just cast magic missile from my armor. I could have did the whole did like booby blasters, but I didn't want to do that.
So
And that's all I'm doing.
next is this guy's turn. Gonna jump off, walk towards you. Going to cast should have prompted you.
Oh god, they're clerics. We're the bad guys.
Where the bad guys now?
13.
I
I think Sacred Flame's
believe
0.
You just take 0 if he saves.
Yeah.
You are correct. Take 0
Yeah.
damage from. Looks at the guy in the back. Turn at his nap. Now holding Jern down. And got the knife up to his. Starts to put a little bit more. Warning you, I'll do it. But doesn't act. Spend an act.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move forward my 30 feet. And I'm going to use command against the one holding Durin down. I yell, "Halt!" So let's see. How do I do that? I think it's this. Okay.
Crit save.
He crit save.
Damn.
Okay. Well, that's not going to do nothing. All right. And so that's my action. One sec. Oh, I don't actually have access to that yet. Never mind. That is unfortunately, I think, all I can do this turn. Oh wait, Searing Smite is a bonus action. Never mind. Never mind. I've got another thing I can do. I'm just gonna bonus action cast Thunderous Smite, so that the first time I hit with a melee weapon, it basically rings out super loud and does extra thunder damage. But so it's actually an effect on me,
Okay.
and then when I hit with a melee weapon, it
Okay.
does its effect. It's concentration, so I'm gonna apply it to myself, and then if I get hit, it should come off.
Well, you'll get to roll.
Yeah.
So struggling, telling everyone never prevail in this, no matter what these traitorous heat kind of reaffirms that Exar will not come back. There's no rising. Kind of give it.
All right. Since Russell still has his hood up, is there any chance that he's still incognito, or is he broken stealth at this point?
I don't
or-
think he's broken stealth. He didn't get up and run or do.
Okay, can I make a stealth check then? Okay. Where is my character sheet? I can't find my character sheet.
Able to click on your.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's not coming up.
Well, maybe he doesn't own it.
Oh, there we go. I clicked it in the bottom corner, but yeah, if I click it up in the top right, it doesn't. It's weird.
Huh.
Okay. 21. Okay. Got a cunning action, then dash. So I can move 80 feet as a bonus action. Russell's gonna move super fast. He's gonna zip around the back of the stage here. He's gonna try to get the drop on this guy. And kind of like, knock him out.
Okay.
Let's see. Where are my attacks? Right there. Oh, have to. So, do I get advantage for still being hidden, or? Okay. Was that with advantage? No.
No.
One more time.
Yeah, try that again.
That's a lot better.
Okay. So it's going to be a d4 plus 3 plus my sneak attack d6. He takes 6 bludgeoning damage.
5 already.
All right, so Russell can do.
I'll kill him. What does I'll do?
How do I tell how far away I am from him?
How do you guys turn on your
Yeah,
targets? So if you control click on something, it'll target them.
Yeah, and that'll tell you.
If you
Okay, there we go.
If I hold left and right mouse button at the same time, I can draw a line
Ooh.
that measures, but not if I start it on
But then it keeps it
a
there.
token. Yeah, you have to right click, go to pointers, and delete. Remove this.
Ah.
Get rid of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast level 2 guiding bolt at that guy. Do I just like drag my attack on, or how does?
Yeah, like that. Have him. So just drag the damn. Back and it'll.
There's
Hey,
another D6 on top of that.
got him. No, he's not dead yet. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, there's a. Is on his deathbed, still up. Very, very, very bloody. Looks like he's in terrible condition.
Each square is 5 feet or 10 feet.
5.
Okay, I'm done.
What did?
So seeing that one is so terribly injured and almost dead, Darren's going to get mildly annoyed at the ruckus, close one of his books, open up his spellcasting book, and then cast Dasha's Mind Whip on the other one.
On the healthier?
Yes. Which is a save. This goes here. He failed. So it does 15 psychic, and the next turn. On its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It gets only one of the 3.
Okay.
That's gonna be it.
Even.
I am going to take the rest of my movement to reach the guy on stage. And I am going to hope the crow can move out of the way because I'm going to push him off the back of the stage. I'm gonna push him. I'm gonna grab him and just grapple him and take him off the stage. Okay. And because of the armor I'm wearing, because of the plate of magical strength, I can add my intelligence to that too.
Wait, 2 or instead?
To it.
I don't know how it works.
So because it's infused, when the wearer makes a strength check or a strength saving throw, it can expend 1 charge to add a bonus to the roll equal to the intelligence modifier.
Okay. So you expend something. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm trying to figure out how much.
He rolls a 6. Is.
And what's my modifier? So it's a. Okay. Okay.
So-
I think that's done right.
So you're trying to grapple him, right?
Yes. I'm trying to grapple him and like take him. I'll take him down the stairs with me. I don't give a shit. Yes. And I rolled a 17.
Grappled.
And I mean, if I have to, I'll like I said, I'll drag him down the stairs. If I have to surf on him, take him down the stairs, I don't give a shit.
Keep in mind, he's still holding Durin.
Yeah, you have him grappled, but he has Durin grappled.
Okay. Well, I'm like holding onto him. Okay, in that case, shit, I can't do that. I'm holding onto him and like I'm trying to keep the knife away from Durin while holding him from being able to do anything.
Okay. Okay.
So there we go.
That's pretty good considering he only gets like one thing on his turn.
Yep.
I don't know if I can do any bonus actions that I can think of. No, I think that's everything. Wow, we're a good team without actually knowing each other.
Times heroes.
Heroes of a feather flock to... Oh, that's probably insulting to Russell.
Crow
So-
noises.
Guy number one turns around. Does a gesture with hands like that. Says a word. Casts a spell, but
Word.
casts a spell at Durin and
Hmm.
That's good.
guy
We
is
can
gonna.
see that roll, eh? I don't know
Yep.
if we were supposed to be able to.
Yep.
Okay.
No, you guys can see You guys can see pretty much everything, unless I'm doing a special check that's not a typical roll. You guys are gonna.
Okay.
Okay.
So this guy kind of have his dagger hand, trying to come down, try to break your.
Can cast inflict wounds at range. Holy crap.
Right?
So athletics.
Ooh.
And you beat it.
Can ya beat the 8?
It-
Yeah.
it-
Double it.
Yeah, you can.
So he's still grappled. Can't do.
Alright, so Karn can kind of see that that guy is getting his ass handed to him. So he's gonna close in on this guy. And he's just gonna swing with his longsword. Okay. Boom.
Him hard.
Yeah, that thunderous smite goes off, and it emits a loud loud eruption of sound for 300 feet in all directions.
Hey.
Russell files this sound away for later.
Yeah, and before I end my turn, I basically say you and your buddy aren't very smart. That's it.
Actually manages to scuttle away with the help of back and pull. Durin starts to make
rocks. Rock. I was gonna
He's
say
so
rocks and a lot of
slow.
he dies.
Makes it to
Rocks
about
fall.
here.
Slight wound.
Get Russell.
All right. So this spell that was cast on this guy, does it prevent him from taking reactions?
It wasn't casting the guy who's in front of you. It was casting the guy who Karn just beat
Oh,
the
the other
crap out
guy.
of.
Okay. All right. I guess in that case, Russell's just gonna try to punch this guy's lights out.
With the sword.
Nope, with his fists.
Come on, bird.
He hasn't actually drawn any weapons yet. He's still kind of, pretending to be a monk. See, I still have him targeted. Flanking now. Okay. All right. So I don't think I'm gonna add my sneak attack onto that.
Because
Is he?
he's dying.
He's unconscious. Okay. Got 40 movement. So Russ is gonna hop up on the stage. He's gonna run over here. He's gonna bonus action hit this guy. He might flurry of blows this guy actually. Need a quick look at that. Yeah, 2 unarmed attacks as a bonus action. Okay, since I have advantage on that one, I'll use my once per turn sneak attack on that. That do it?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, Russell will deck those guys. Kind of look back and forth at them, and then he'll wander back over to where he dropped his bowl that's probably broken and start picking up his bread and good berries.
So I'm assuming they're unconscious
Oh
And-
yeah, yeah. He
because you weren't
Russell?
using a weapon, so I assume.
Yeah. They're
yeah, he's used his
unconscious.
fist. Russell's a professional killer for hire. Unless somebody's threatening his life or he's been paid, he's not really going to kill anybody.
Okay, cool. So I'll grab this unconscious guy, and I'll drag him over to where the other unconscious guy is. And you'll have to move him because I can't. And yeah, well, the 2 big armor guys will just kind of keep watch on them.
Holding this
Until-
unconscious person, and all I can think of is, did I just see a bird punch him?
Until the guards arrive or something, because
From out from underneath the stage. Ha
Russell's strong.
Russell is strong.
ha!
So I feel like at this
He's-
point, kind of the natural thing to happen. After
I mean, Russell will listen.
yes,
He'll eat his bread.
Yeah. I'll look at the armored guy next to me, and basically say, "Ah, it's you again. You're not any ordinary citizen, are you?"
No, sir, I am not.
I nod with a little bit of respect for the display I saw. Karn is essentially impressed by anybody who rushes to the aid of others like that. So,
Those guys are going to be out.
okay.
You guys have some. Talk to get to know each other. Like
Bond.
best friends.
Yeah.
Does Karn voice that opinion that he's impressed by people like
Oh,
rushing to help others?
No. That was just like kind of an internal like. Basically, everybody that he just saw helping, he's impressed by. But he spoke to the guy next to him because he had spoke to him earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess Russell will kind of piece his bowl back together and like hold, the biggest part of it. Kind of wander back to the group and kind of hold it out
I actually go
Like-
over to Russell, and
nonchalantly.
I kind of go, here, let me see that. Let me see the bowl. And I
Look around and hands it to you.
use cast mend, and I mend the bowl back together. And I hit it back.
Russell's happy about this. He a little bit. He kind of like he doesn't cough. He mimics the sound of coughing, and then also like just a clink.
Um.
Don't talk much to you.
Yeah. While this is happening, I'm just kind of observing. Basically, the two other people that are next to the stage, Russell and Zahel, and just kind of sizing them up, seeing that they also came to the aid. Little confused by the Birdman because this would have been probably the first time I've ever seen his species.
Would any
But,
of us ever seen that species before?
I guess from what you were saying earlier, Justin, Kenku aren't common in the Grenalian Empire.
They're not. Probably.
Can I see if I know it from books?
I would probably one of the only chance to. You guys maybe would have heard of them.
Yeah, you
Al
said that
might
they'd
have
be
actual.
more common in the Trisray Empire.
I've probably never seen one, but I've probably read of it. History?
Yeah, give me your survival. Whatever.
Oh, it's history. Skills. Nope. It's 12. Yeah.
I would say details are a bit fuzzy. You might be kind of mistaking them for Aarakocra almost, but you know that they're bird type people. You don't really know the whole lore of how they're actually legitimately can't speak. You don't know that cursed to not speak, or if he just doesn't know how to speak birds. So like you have some of the more details, but you don't.
Gotcha.
Tell us about that.
I wouldn't have missed anything yet. I mean, did you?
Go way off to the side. He cast
Oh,
a spell.
oh,
and he's actually,
yeah,
like reading his book. Like
I'm listening. I'm listening to what's happening.
Yeah.
Essentially, for the combat, all I did was turn, stare, because Tasha's mind whip doesn't have really anything visual. I turned, stared at a guy while saying a couple of words, and he got weaker, and then went back to reading.
True. I suppose I should check on my employer.
yes.
So I'll go over. I'll check on Durin. I'll ask him how he's doing, if he was injured.
Feeling fine. He didn't think he was gonna make it there for a little bit, but actually man. Around. Thanks all of you. Kinda comes over to like this kind of area. He asks all of you. Gestures for everyone.
Okay.
I'll approach. He is my boss after all.
I
Darian looks mildly perturbed, closes the book, and then just starts kind of wandering over.
I look over at Ari and go, "You must have been the one that was helping off on the side then."
Oh yes, there was a conflict that needed to be resolved.
Okay.
Probably be. Notice yelled before.
That is an understatement.
Anybody here not know why that?
I just,
Karn, I was just gonna say, Karn would have probably gathered a little bit from his time guarding the festival, what the general gist is, so he just stays silent.
Russell, who wouldn't have much of an education, kind of raises his hand.
How old?
Russell's about 25.
Okay, so
It's like in his 20s.
one point. Kinda the load tells you wizard wanted to necroma, never granted license. Everybody would kind of know that time ago magic required life. Doesn't anymore. Tells you that
Dark times.
dark times and could not have lasted. I had to get.
It would have definitely been tedious.
This is basically what led XR to be so powerful, because he was doing it illegally. Gain a lot of power and strong because work to go licensing. Very strong. Led an army of on took hostages. At for 100, as far as most died of natural, but about 200 years after causes, he came back as a lich. Essentially took over most of the roughly 100 the ring. Heroes at this very cultist mind come and say that he asks I know that you guys are probably came here for the festival. Pretty amazing. Guys, I'm gonna humbly ask you guys to do investigate very serious allegation more about Bolton. They plan. So we don't know. I'm willing to compensate.
I know a thing or two about unsuitable masters and a lack of freedom. If this Zexar is as you say he is, then I can't stand for his existence. So I will help.
The rest of you
This
willing?
this cannot be allowed to pass. We must look into it.
I won't let him come harm to innocence. I will also accept. As
Makes
long
sense.
as I can have as long as I
I'll-
can have that metal man with me.
I'll help. It's a problem that needs to be dealt with. Hopefully, we'll find some knowledge along the way.
Also kind of mimics the sound of coughing and holds out his bone, goes clink, clink, clink again, but then he nods as well.
I promise you will be compensated. Start all of your accommodation.
Guys, this guy's good enough. Easy with me.
And sleep.
Like, but
I
you
don't do any of that.
guys can do some investigation. Guys to the border of Republic, what for? Republic of have a border. Both of them. That we'll question these guys when we wake up. That's a good. Stolen like 40 years. Is completely cultists by now.
Sir Durin, correct? I was hired to provide security for the festival, and there are still 2 days left in the festival. But this sounds much more pressing. What would you have me do? 'Cause a job is a job.
I consider them one and the same. Think that what these guys said is true. What they said is true. Matter pretty of the realm at this point, to be honest. Fit free.
Okay.
So, as kind of explaining all this, we'll say that you keeping an eye on, kind of
Yeah.
start to come to. They notice that you guys are all there. I assume disarmed.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You're waking up.
Yes, Russell kind of like looks at them, or then he mimics the sound of like a rooster crowing, kind of alert everybody that these guys are awake.
As per the first tenant, I approached them as they're coming to, and I'd like to basically just attempt to intimidate the crap out of them, because the first tenant douse the flame of hope, says that it is not merely enough to defeat an enemy in battle. It must be so overwhelming that their will to fight you again is shattered forever. So I'll lead off with saying, not much brains between the two of you. I've cleaned more off my sword in the past. And then try and make an intimidation.
Can I help? Oh, I was just gonna say, can I like make a help action there? As he finishes like that sentence, um, Russell's gonna mimic again the sound of his thunderous smite.
Ooh.
Roll.
Okay.
Same.
Same thing.
Wow.
They are intimidated. They hear this.
This unholy loud blast of thunder coming out of a crow man.
I almost like to pretend that you have your back turned to them so they don't even know.
Yeah. He's still over with the group. He's not anywhere near them.
Ooh, I like that.
I kind of laugh and snicker about it.
Yeah.
They're trying to put up a tough fight.
Yeah, they're pretty weak right now, right?
They're
Like,
very.
would they resist if I was to grab them both by the scruff of the neck and lift them up?
I don't know that you would know that, but they're not very tough right. They're the same as anybody else.
I'd like to try it.
Okay.
I'd like to try it. I'd like to pick one of them up in each arm, like
Okay.
in each hand, just by the throat, essentially, and say, "You're lucky I wasn't the one to have the final blow."
And what did you ask them?
Hmm?
Like, I know
Oh,
you're
I didn't ask
intimidated.
them, man. I just said. No, I'm just trying to scare them shitless,
Oh, they're scared.
so they know not to mess with me ever again.
They are definitely.
Yeah, if they see me around, they should run. Is what I want them to feel.
Okay.
Careful, metal man. You don't want to choke them to death.
I drop them.
Back themselves up. Backs hit the.
And then I basically say, now you're gonna answer any questions my boss Durin here has for you.
Walks over. Kind of in between. Not gonna go in front. Says, "Who are you?" For number one, they are, now that you guys kind of have their hoods off, they are human. They're human. Black cloak. They are nothing vessels. Point. Their eyes, not quite like blood red, but they're kind of like almost as definitely something happening. Anyway, eyes start to go a darker reddish. Eyes kind of Dex. Friend's like, yeah, go ahead.
As he hears that name, Russell mimics the sound of the crowd spitting and booing earlier. Like, not just one person, an entire
Yeah,
crowd.
an entire crowd.
Nice.
Says Dexar. Guy, the number bottom, one of his eyes actually pops. Says, Evs. Evs. Fault of your. When he dies, the first guy take his hand. Says, never kill. Never truly go. Puts his hand. Casts
Can
some
I-
kind. Yeah.
Can I try to make a reaction to try to stop him from doing what he's doing?
Try. What do you?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping to just grab his hand, I guess.
More or less one grapple.
I guess so. I guess I'm almost. I mean, neither one's gonna be good, but sleight of hand because I'm like trying to quickly grab his hand so he doesn't off himself. What I would want to do, I think.
I see this
Oh.
and I cast guidance on him. That's
What's-
extra D4.
Okay. Woohoo! Yeah, it's reading. I'm like trying to.
Actually, rolls a 20. Faster.
Did you say earlier the first guy's eye popped? That sounds like a good soundbite to have if we're trying to intimidate two people who can't see each other at some point.
So I go to what I obviously go to miss. I see him die. I'm just like, and I swear and fucking hell, and I start swearing at Elvin and just kind of walk, kind of just pace back and forth.
Elvish swears.
It'd be the
give me-
most beautiful
I like it.
swears you've ever heard.
Russell will remember this.
Durin says,
I tried.
guys, tomorrow, strength, I think you guys should trek down northern Fungoli / southern. Try to see if you can find. Gonna be a bit of a long journey. So, are you guys going there quickly? Any stone unturned. Up along the way. can learn. You might be able to figure it out before getting there and save a lot of time.
Quick
Kinda-
question.
yeah.
Would Hurdle Pool be on the way to Fungoli?
Hurdle Pool is so Hurdle Pool have there's a zoomed in map of North
Sorry
East,
to
Friendly and
derail
Empire.
here.
Hurdle Pool is directly north where you are going southwest.
Okay.
Might be able to convince people.
Okay.
So, end of this, I'm gonna actually up. Vern gives you guys a map. Kind of merchant town, essentially town, places where hoping you guys will find the answer with going far southwest as you hoping you'll worst case would be that's that.
Okay.
Yes. So you said this map marks out thieves' towns.
Well, they
Things
might.
like that.
Yeah, it's gonna have all the major cities listed.
Yes. Are we looking at it at the moment, or?
I'm going to draw it when the session is over because I don't have it drawn
Okay.
yet. But theoretically, in character, you are looking.
Okay, I guess Russell would, tap Hurdle Pool on the map, and he'd kind of like mimic the sound of like coins clinking back and forth, and then like pages riffling and writing, trying to convey that it might be a decent place to buy information.
Maybe. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a good idea to maybe possibly stop there.
Duran says,
I agree with
"No, it's only a half-day trek. Not gonna go that far out of the way. Like the grand scheme of things, if you have to go all the way southwest, like that's a long half a day. Even if it turns up completely blank, isn't gonna set you back. Good idea. Just saved my life."
Russell just kind of shrugs and tries to act like not committed to the idea, like it was just a suggestion.
Darren pops in at the shrug. Well, I mean, if you don't think it'll be useful, we can always skip the half-day trek up north.
Still just kind of neither here nor there.
Okay. I mean, we can all talk about it in the end and make a decision afterwards. Non-committal either way. Sounds like some pretty evil
Talk.
business we probably should deal with quickly, but if we decide to go north, I'm just up for
Out.
whatever the fastest option is to get to where we need to go. Or the most efficient.
Say that you guys head into the good night. That's where we'll end it. A great spot to recap next. Unless there's
Okay,
something you really
next-
want to do before.
Next session, Russell does have some things to do after like night falls, as like it goes into the evening.
Yeah, what I kind of plan to do is next session, for a great recap, we'll do the recap, ordering of sleep, and then start the next.
Yeah, before we head to the inn, because my guy's gonna be like very just up front and be like, so your services have been provided and new services have been requested. And then just put my hand out. Not like threateningly or anything, just assumedly.
I'm gonna look at Odin. I'm gonna look at Durin and be like, he's asking for money.
So he says, how about this? I'll give you 100 gold, half the pay for a third of this work, and still entitled to full pay for the next.
Not in agreement.
To 100 gold.
Because I'm good at math and was expecting him to only give me a third. All right.
Durin's
Cool.
not good at math. 1/3 of 2.
All right. Yeah, it's not a pretty number.
It's not a good number at all.
All right. And that's with that, he basically resumes his post in the middle of the town square.
God.
I don't have to eat or sleep, so I'll just be here. Come get me when you need me.
I'm actually, before we go to the inn, if he's not there, if he's not heading to the inn right away or with us, I'm gonna follow Karn, because I'm more interested on him than any. I'm more interested on what.
So basically, just before you head to the inn, you're gonna like hang out and ask me a bunch of questions.
Pretty much, not like anything
Okay.
specific, just
I
curious.
We'll
I-
just
I-
small talk.
I guess if Maven is keeping Karn busy, Russell might try to sneak off just then, as opposed to trying to sneak out a window later,
Okay.
while the Warforged is staking out the middle of town.
The Awakened book session says to you, this is telepathically. Can't act.
Nobody can hear because it can't talk yet.
Oh boy, adventure. I've been waiting for one of these. This is gonna be great. You've never been on an adventure before.
Ooh.
I just kind of shake my head a little bit back and forth at it. I don't answer it back or anything, but I just kind of like a little bit annoyed.
We'll resolve nightfall stuff and what else goes on?
What are you? Who are you? Where do you come from?
We'll finish.
Yeah, I
What do you
think
mean
I think
out
we're just doing small talk. I don't think there's any like story context to it. I think it's more just
That next set have the map plot out.
sounds good.
Everybody watching. Second week. Normally Sundays, but Sunday.
Okay, I feel bad for Cal.
Oh, don't worry. He has a really good weapon that makes it really fun to play with Spagulio.
His weapon
That I
is
gave him last week.
My weapon is basically his book. Someone
Yeah,
who's
no,
the
this is
exact
the book is payback for the weapon. Yeah.
Oh no.
Highly recommend. Time if you got more about this. Point any of the characters' name. Whole backstory.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.